What's up guys, welcome back to another Brody's Live episode. Today we're going to be working right off of what I was working on in the last video, which was my bike. So this will be part number 2 of the engine swap between the Yamaha TT250 and the xt250, which is sitting out there. So I haven't done anything to this thing since the last video. It still needs a couple of things so I can get it off. I have kind of made a decision, which I was saying in the first part that I wasn't really thinking about doing, which was splitting the case because it is cracked right through there. I have these other engines here, which I think, yeah, this one still has the good block. Still has the good block. That one doesn't. Yeah, that block's all cracked. Well, the case is cracked, and same thing on this bike. The case is cracked. It's because of like the chain coming off and whatnot and smacking it and breaking it. It's not a huge problem. It's not causing any like problems, I guess you could say, because it's not actually cracked into anything. But I just want to replace it just to have everything perfect. I'm looking at getting a gasket kit to rebuild it. That's coming in the future. I'm not going to deal with that now. I'm just going to swap the engines over. Because this one's fine, so I'm going to leave it. So I'm going to set everything up so I can start removing the engine. So I have these wiring harness here, which has all these plugs. I got to make sure I take pictures and everything of that. So it looks like all of them are just color coordinated, which is nice. But pull that off, because that has to come off with this engine. I already got the throttle disconnected, clutch cable needs disconnected still, and I think it'll be ready to drop this engine on. Got the top engine mount loose, got the front one taken off, still got 2 more on the back here. This big bolt and 1 little bolt down there. Take out, engine will just drop straight out, and I'll be good to go. And I need to start working on taking that bike apart to get this engine up into that one. So let me set everything up so it's ready. So it's nice to have this roll around workbench here. Got the carburetor here, which I need to take a clip out of this and put it on the other carburetor. But I gotta make sure I have all my stuff put up and put some bolts back in so I don't lose anything. It's good, just thought, is to keep all your bolts together and where they belong. And I just realized that's full of water. But just gonna have to clean the bolts, I guess. But I'll get back when I'm ready to start taking the main bolts out. Then get it on recording because it's a little bit of a pain to get it. I just took this flathead, shove it in here where the screw is, and I was able to pry back the clutch arm here and pop this cable out. So now I gotta take out this nut to get this cable gland thing off, so when I drop this engine it doesn't pull the clutch cable down with it. So I couldn't get these nuts to pop off that easy, so when it was up in here, let's just at the wrench on one side, I took my rubber mallet, held the wrench, and then hit it at the same time until it popped loose. Okay, update. I got the nut out of that one. Haven't taken that one out yet because it is what's holding the engine besides the top one. Always leave the top one because that's, yeah. I got the bolt out from down there so the whole engine can move around now. So let me get this bolt out, which I want to record this part just in case if something crazy happens. So start. Okay, it's getting stuck on something. getting stuck on the bike. It should be able to clear that. Back over to this side. Yeah, I might have to remove the brake, the wheel brake. I just had to rotate the bolt. There it goes. So yeah, I just had to rotate it so the flat edge went right past there. There we go. Got the main engine mount. Now, whole engine. It's kind of just floating here. Literally just floating here. So let me get a jock onto it. So it doesn't just drop. It's literally, it's just floating. And that's all that's holding it, is that. So once that bolt comes out, that grade 8 bolt, which is nice, once that comes out, the whole engine will just drop. So I need something to support it from the underneath. So, yep, that's how you pull the engine out of one of these. So, oh yeah, I got the wiring already disconnected. Which, looking at this wiring, it's pretty simple, it's just plug and play. The bike it's going on to, though, has a completely different connector. So, which is already kind of broken. So I'm gonna have to figure out wiring. So that's no fun. But I'm pretty sure I have a whole nother wiring harness in here that has a different connector on it. So I need to look at that and make sure. Okay, I'll get back to you guys when I have the engine on the floor. Completely forgot to mention, so this wheel suspension is also what this is, this big bolt. So once you remove this, make sure you put the bolt back in, at least on one side, so it doesn't drop the suspension. That would not be good. There we go. Put like a piece of wood, but I'm not gonna do that. So basically, jock this up until this bracket up here is loose, which it is. It's just balancing at the moment. So let me get this bolt out. Let's see how good I can drop this without holding myself. Okay. The bolt is basically out. Just have to wiggle it out of its spot. Maybe one more jock. Roll the jock down just a tiny bit, maybe. Maybe not. Come on, engine mount, get out of there. Okay, last engine mount bolt out. So just to make this a little easier, nothing is holding this engine in at the moment. So let me loosen the jack. Okay. Fairly slowly. Let it go down on its own pace. Okay, maybe a little faster than that. Okay. Oh, stuck on the throttle cable. That was a little harder than I thought. It makes it so much easier if you have a jack, because I've done this before on the wet bike without a jack. Nightmare. But with the jack, you can just slowly let it down and carry it out. So that's the engine, that's the body. Let me put this off to the side. Plugs up and up in there so nothing gets up in there. And then I think bring the other bike in, start doing that to it. I think I'm gonna put this bike kind of back together. I want these grips and whatnot, but okay, let me get this out of here. This won't really apply to me because I'm planning on, well, I pulled the engine on wanting to put it right into the other bike, but good practice. Grab some plastic bags, some sharp towels, some rags, whatever, and shove into the intake. And the exhaust. So nothing can get down inside. See, I did it to that one. And I'm glad I did, because I've had mice and all of that. And I'm worried this back here's the original engine. It's been completely open. So I guarantee it's full of crap, but I don't really care. That one's garbage anyways. But yeah, good practice. Just shove some stuff in there. And any other bolts, just shove a little rag in. Whatnot, but good tip. Let me get this out of the way so I can get the other bike in here. So here we are. So I got a little sidetracked on cleaning up the floor a little bit, so it was a mess. Make it a little bit easier to walk in here, but I gotta start breaking down this bike. You guys have already seen what it is with me breaking down the white bike. So it's the exact same thing basically. So if I find anything different, I'll let you guys know. And you know, my plastic bag's not in there anymore. That's funky. I had a plastic bag in there. But anyways, let me start taking the seat, tank, all of that stuff off. So here's what I was talking about in part 1. See this tank? It has a bolt holding it on. It does not have the bolts going in. Here, let me show you. This tank is completely different. The frame is quite a bit different as well. When this tank comes up, and it's like backwards. See, it just has these bushings, which I need to get a different one. Yeah. So these grips are all nasty, they're torn up, they're sticky and nasty. The other set is really nice. Well, I don't really care about these ones, so. And the throttle on this one, yeah, it's broke up here, so I gotta fix that. But the plastic here isn't actually broke. On the other one, there's a chunk missing, so it feels funky. So this is where I'm at. Got the engine out of the wet bike, sitting right there. It's a pretty nice engine. I need to figure out what's wrong with it, because it doesn't leak too much oil. And that one leaks a lot of oil. I'm gonna do a gasket kit on it, but that's in the future. But yep, I'm gonna get that engine in here, lift it up into this frame, and bolt it all up. Now I'll record that part. Okay, this is the hard part, trying to line this all up, get it up into place. And I might start off by putting the carburetor on, so I don't have to do it while the engine's in place. But I don't know yet. I'm just gonna leave it, put the carburetor on afterwards. Okay, so I gotta get this jock, get this engine onto this jock. Okay. Make sure this is nice and tight so I can actually jock it up when I need to. So I'm going up to the top engine mount up here, which can't really see on camera. That's the plan. Just a little bit more. Okay, should be that bolt. Okay, got it through. Okay, gotta lift up the bottom of the engine and slide it over. Okay, on the nut, put on this engine mount. Lower the jock down. Just like that, get out of the way. Now the engine's dangling. Okay, get it into place, get this front engine mount on. Well, I gotta get the big one in the back on first. Which that's a pain, so I'm not gonna record that because that'll be hard to record. But I'll get the front one on. We can see it while it's all together. That was way harder than I expected it to be. But got the engine in. It's nice and mounted in. I still have the last engine bolt going on the way down there at the bottom. And then also go through and tighten all the bolts up and all of that. But that's gonna do it for part 2 of this series. Part 3, it's gonna be putting the whole bike back together, figuring out this wiring, because that's the wiring coming out of the engine and that's what's going into the wiring harness. It's completely different. So I have to figure that all out. That's all gonna be in part number 3. I'm gonna take a break, because it's like 85, 90 degrees outside right now. And I'm in the middle shed. It is hot. It's like an oven. But I got this all put in. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It was a fun one to make. Still have quite a bit of work left to do. I'm just happy the engine's finally in the bike I like, because I didn't like the white one. It was just dope bike. This one's cool. It has a headlight and a speedo, which I gotta get all of that working. I want to get this thing perfect. That's why I'm waiting on a rebuild kit for the engine. So when that happens, I'll make a whole video on how to break down this engine, take it completely apart, put all the new gaskets in, and then, yeah, get it all running right again. Because it runs fine, it just leaks oil. So I gotta fix it so it doesn't leak any oil, fix the speedometer. Hopefully I can make the headlight still work. It has a brake light, all of that. Figure out tone signals way down the road. But at the moment, I'm just happy that the engine's finally in it. So now I gotta go through carburetor, put the seat back on, gas tank, figure out the wiring. And I think that's it. And I think I'll be ready to go. So hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in part 3.